Cards in the air and meet the players.
In seat 1, 25-year-old Simon Jones from Watford. Simon is a sports science lecturer in Hammersmith and West London College. He's been playing online poker for 12 months. Seat 2, compliance analyst Hung Luke from Ealing in London. Hung is currently learning ballroom dancing with his partner. Can he waltz his way through tonight's heat? In seat 3, 44-year-old Sean Ridge from Letchworth, Hertfordshire. Sean is an electroplater and regularly plays poker with his colleagues during his lunch hour in the works canteen. In seat 4, civil servant Gordon Murray from County Armagh. Gordon started playing poker on a visit to Las Vegas and regularly plays home games. In seat 5, 34-year-old Chris Higgins from Failsworth in Manchester. Chris is a butcher by trade. Can he make mincemeat of the opposition tonight? And in seat 6, Alison Cheeseman from Milton Keynes. Alison is an experienced poker player. She's played online for 5 years and regularly plays home games too. Dealing services provided by Marina Kremser and Peter Schmidt from Vienna. And our old friend and tournament director is the referee, Thomas Kremser from the International Poker Federation.
Starters, take your marks for this heat of the PartyPoker.com Late Night Poker Ace Tournament. 6 players here playing down to 1, and I'm joined by one of the most successful poker players in the history of this format, British poker ace Simon Aces Trumper. Evening, Simon.
Good evening, Jesse.
Got early action here at this tournament. There's been a raise to 75 from Simon Jones. Blinds, of course, starting at 25 and 25 this heat, Simon. So 75, triple the bet.
Call.
Yeah, that's a standard size raise there from Simon.
Call. And call.
You can see he's got the king-queen, and he's been called in the small blind and the big blind by Gordon and Chris, respectively. They've both got aces. They've got Simon beat at this stage.
Yep.
3 players.
No help on the flop. First action in the small blind. Checked around to the razor.
Simon's going to represent a pair here.
100.
25 years old from Watford. And, well, we've learned one thing about Simon already. He's not afraid to miss the flop and come out betting.
Absolutely.
Pass.
Oh, first pot for Simon on the back of pure aggression. And that's a good sign for this poker player.
Well, that's what you're going to need if you're going to win this heat, so it's a good start for Simon.
Orange chips on this table worth 25 pounds. The red chips 100 pounds each. A lot of shuffling around, jockeying for position. Sean under the gun, first to speak. 25 pounds to call. There's a mere 50 pounds in the pot of the 12,000 pounds on the table. And action here on Simon.
Raise to 75.
Second time raising up. That's from the small blind. Is he trying to give a little tester to Hung, who's picked up the ace-king?
I'll re-raise.
Yeah, he's just trying to, you know, see if he can pick up the blinds.
150.
And little information back there. He's going to find out that he's behind.
Because Hung didn't announce the size of the raise before he stuck chips in, it's a string bet, and he'll be forced to make the minimum raise.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is unfortunate for Hung because obviously he's letting Simon in cheaply. He can't pass, and they're going to see a flop.
Boy, Simon had nothing. 9-10, but now he's been priced in. Flop to come.
2 players.
Not the worst flop for Simon. 8 would make him the nut straight.
Well, here's a player who's definitely got some game, and Hung is reacting immediately. He doesn't believe for 1 minute that Simon's hit this. He thinks his ace-king is good.
That's a big bet, and this is a big pot. Oh, Hung will like that card.
And look at him staring intently at Simon there.
Check.
I'll stick in 3.
300.
Strong, confident bet there.
300 pounds on Simon. He's tried to bluff twice this pot already. And now he's forced to give it up. Strong hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And we now have a clear chip leader in Hung Luck.
So the first clash, blind against blind, and Hung Luke played like a rock. He was not intimidated by the smooth moves of Simon Jones.
So how do you play Texas Hold'em? Well, the action begins with each player receiving 2 cards face down from the dealer. These are called hole cards. The 2 players to the immediate left of the dealer post 2 compulsory bets, which are known as the blinds. These bets help to get the action going. Play then proceeds in a clockwise direction. With each player having to make a betting decision, they can call or match the bet, raise, which means to put more money in the pot, or they can fold their cards and get right out of there. Once the initial round of betting is over, the dealer reveals the flop. 3 community cards dealt face up in the middle of the table. More betting follows, then comes a 4th card, or the turn card, and a 5th card, known as the river. Players must make the best 5-card poker hand using the 7 cards available. Once the betting is over, the players reveal their cards, and the player with the best hand wins the pot.
Of course, one of the interesting things about these players is we are looking for the British Amateur Champion, and one of the things you'll notice here is if they haven't had any experience of live play, that they've had most of their experience online, is the way that they actually handle their cards.
Call.
Some of the players will actually just lift it up at the edge at the table. These are players that are used to handling cards. The ones that aren't will actually lift the cards off the table up to their chest, and you'll see this in Chris's play.
A lot of these players learn to play online. That's where they qualified, and that's a great place to learn the game. Gordon here, I think he's just flat called the opening bet with a pair of 3s, and we'll be 3-way here. Gordon plus the 2 blinds.
3 players.
Check.
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 Check. 100.
Oh, this is good play by Chris. He's limped in an early position, so now he's just trying to represent a hand.
Call.
Pass.
Pass. Please. Thank you. Thanks. 2 players.
Check.
Check.
That's
Check.
a great card for Chris. Flush draw now, plus the pair, and that's given him the nuts, Simon.
50.
50.
That's Sean betting.
Chris is wondering here, what do I do here? Do I raise 100?
Sean looking a bit peaked because he has got 1 pair with 4 clubs on board, and Chris is not shy.
Raised
200
250.
more. He cannot be beat at this stage. King of Clubs making the best hand possible.
Pass.
It's interesting that actually, I mean, the Queen, there could have been a lot more action on that flop, Jesse, couldn't there? The Queen on the turn, they both had one. So, but we didn't see any betting on the turn, and all the action happened on the river.
Yeah, Chris slowed way down. All of a sudden, he had enough to check, didn't he? And then made the nuts on the end.
Bring me sunshine in your smile. Bring me laughter all the while. Let your arms be as warm as the sun from up above. Bring me fun, bring me sunshine, bring me love. Bring me sunshine in your smile. Bring me laughter. Oh.
The Sharp Aquos LCD TV. Suddenly, there's more to see.
Be who you want to be at Weight Watchers. What works for everyone else won't necessarily work for you. You have to find your own path. Fresh fruit is good for you, but you knew that already. You only have to make small changes. they soon add up to a big change. Did I mention fresh fruit? Vertical stripes are slimming, but who wants a stripy wedding dress? Be who you want to be at Weight Watchers. Call 08457 123 000. Join now and register free.
This is the D30, weapon to be destroyed.
27 days a year on regular army pay. Interested? Go to ta.mod.uk for your free TA guide.
Why do some things stay timeless? Like a precious piece of jewelry.
Or a classic sports car.
There is a magic moment
when aesthetics and functionality meet in perfect balance.
That moment is now.
Could anyone bottle up this news? New cool citrus Listerine. It doesn't taste as strong, but has all the same plaque-fighting benefits as regular Listerine. Listerine kills the germs that cause plaque even between teeth. New, milder flavor cool citrus Listerine. You can handle it, germs can't.
There are good men.
Mr. Collins at your service.
There are handsome men. But there is one man no woman can resist.
Mr. Darcy.
From the makers of Bridget Jones's Diary.
He's here! Oh my goodness!
Pride and Prejudice.
Throughout history, people have been celebrated for their talent. But now a plague of useless, fame-hungry show-offs has killed celebrity.
Does it worry you that neither of you appear to have much talent?
Join Piers Morgan as he takes up the challenge to put real talent back on its pedestal. The Death of Celebrity, Sunday at 9 on 4.
Six players remain, and Hung Luke is looking them over.
He's an interesting guy, Hung. He's from Ealing in London. He's a compliance analyst in the city. And apparently that means that what he does is supervises traders at work to make sure that
75.
we don't get a fiasco of a crash from another big bank or something. Must be a very interesting job.
Pass.
He's mixing it up here, and he wants to see if he's got respect on the table, and which is going to help him later on.
Show it.
That's one cool customer, isn't it?
I'll tell you. You know, there's a bunch of these young Scandinavians who play online who are fond of that under-the-gun 6-4 suited move, and Hung Luke is well in that style. They're all very successful.
If only.
Oh, 75 in the pot, and Hung Luke's eyes on Sean Ridge under the gun.
Raise 50.
Well, he's a good watcher. And there's been a double the bet now from Sean.
Raise to 100.
Sorry.
The electroplater from Hertfordshire. And we've got a pot brewing here. 2 nines, Queen King, premium cards out there.
Yeah.
I think Alison
Pass.
Cheeseman has quickly called as well. We haven't seen her do too much calling before the flop.
She'll be calling because she's in position.
Pass. Pass. Thank you.
It'll be 3-way here.
Thank you.
Blind's not interested. And action will be on Sean with the 2 nines. He's missed the flop, but may have the best hand.
100.
100. Pass. Pass. Pass.
Good strong play by Sean to keep betting, representing the ace, huh?
Yeah, well, interesting. He was the first player there to only double the blind, and of course, when the ace has come out and he's come out betting, they've got to assume he's got an ace.
So Sean Ridge from Letchworth regaining his chips, and that'll put him up just about to even again, which is a good place to be in this game. Chris Higgins.
Call.
Big arms and a called bet, calling for 50. Blinds are 25 and 50 here. And
Is that a bit of a crack in Chris's armor? Is he getting impatient? Queen 8 up front.
Well, that's certainly not a hand that you should be playing at this stage of the tournament. And I don't know what he's hoping to hit with that.
Simon carefully calculating with his sixes.
Nice.
He
Raise to
decides the
200.
raise is the right play. 50 plus 150. That'll be oh, now here's something.
I'll raise to 5.
Raise to 500.
What is Hung sensed that he's got the best hand very quickly. That's a big bet. And is it going to take the pot?
He's playing with tremendous experience here, Hung. Some players would have just flat called in position on the button, but because there was an early limper and Simon's raised, he's decided to find out how strong his hand is, and he's re-raised. And Simon could be making a really bad call here. Let's see the flop.
2 players.
Simon might not know where he's at. Pair on the board. Simon might think his under pair is good. This could skyball.
Check.
I'll raise another 5.
500.
Hung betting that quick as a cat. How do you like your sixes now?
Problem here for Simon is if Hung did have ace king of diamonds, for example, he's hit a monster flop. But I think he bet that a little bit too quickly. It might allow Simon to get away from it. Look at Hung sat there like a statue.
Yeah, Simon's counting down his chips. He's trying to figure out how much this will cost him. Basically, it could cost him the whole tournament if he goes any deeper.
Yeah, he should think back to the pre-flop action. The fact that Chris limped in and Simon then raised, the fact that he was then re-raised, and he's made a good lay down here. He's thought it through and he's realised that he must be beat.
And I think Hung's turned over the hand. He's shown him the 2 jacks, and Simon will know that he's made a good fold. Both players had 2 pairs. Simon held 10s and 6s, but Hung held jacks up, and the higher pair means Hung wins the pot. So descending through the golden lights, and Hung Luke has jumped out to a chip lead on the strength of some big re-raises. But this is Allison
2 to play.
under
Raise
the
to
gun.
200. Pass.
Well, she's got the right hand here, ace king offsuit, early positions, make a standard 4 times big blind. Hung's got a nice hand here. He could see a flop